On January 24th of last year, a tiny hippopotamus was born 6 weeks premature at the Cincinnati Zoo, and she was named Fiona. You might already know that if you were one of the 27 million views that Fiona videos have gotten over the last year. And she's popped up a lot in Facebook and Twitter feeds. People from all over the world have watched as the zoo worked to keep her alive. And now Fiona is about to turn 1. Tana Weingartner of member station WVXU reports.
I'm here at Hippo Cove in Cincinnati. The rock star herself is right in front of me, just a few feet away. She's kind of bobbing in the water right now along this underwater viewing glass in her heated pool. She weighs in at about 650 pounds now. Someday she's going to be closer to 3,000 pounds. And people here are obsessed.
So I think people often, when they come see her, are surprised that we're not hugging on her or kissing on her or something like that, although she is quite slimy.
Christina Gorsuch is the zoo's curator of mammals. No one had ever hand-reared a premature hippo before, so she and the zoo's team had to learn on the fly, even calling on nurses from Cincinnati Children's Hospital to start a special IV when Fiona stopped eating. Local businesses came out with hippo-branded everything, T-shirts, calendars, ice cream, even beer, and donated part of the proceeds to the zoo. Overall, the zoo estimates Fiona has generated $2 to $3 million for the local economy. The zoo has posted a baby hippo update almost daily since Fiona's birth. Marketing director Chad Yelton says attempts at scaling back were met with resistance.
We've tried a couple times to say if we're bombarding you with Fiona madness, we'll stop. And people are like, I better get my Fiona fix.
The zoo's strategy is to tell Fiona's story as it unfolds, good or bad. It's a tactic the zoo used in May 2016 after a young boy climbed through a barrier and fell into a gorilla enclosure. Keepers shot and killed a 17-year-old western lowland gorilla named Harambe while rescuing the child. Rob Vernon with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, or AZA, says Cincinnati's tell-all approach is unusual but effective in the world of social media.
I think you will continue to see that openness and transparency become a daily part of what AZA members in particular are doing.
He points to Nora the polar bear in Utah, but says even she hasn't garnered near as much attention as Fiona the hippo. So why do people care so much about a hippopotamus? After all, they're highly aggressive and considered to be one of the world's most dangerous animals to humans. Zookeeper Christina Gorsuch says for her, it's simple. People love a good story.
We all worked really hard to keep her alive. She worked really hard to stay alive. And then it turned out good. Like the end story was really good, which that almost never happens either anymore. So I think beginning to end, she's a feel-good story. She's a feel-good hippo.
The zoo is celebrating Fiona's first birthday this weekend with the usual cake, giveaways, and like any child's birthday party, goodie bags, which in this case will be treats for the other zoo animals. For NPR News, I'm Tana Weingartner in Cincinnati.
This is Scientific American's 60-Second Mind. I'm Christy Nicholson. Got a minute? Consider the times you've hopped on a subway, boarded a plane, or entered a waiting room. And chances are you probably avoided engaging with any fellow commuters or patients. But contrary to what we might think, we'd actually be happier if we did strike up a conversation with a total stranger. In a study, commuters in Chicago were asked to either talk with a stranger on a train or sit quietly alone, or do whatever they normally do on their commute. Then they responded to a survey about how they felt. It turns out that those who engaged with strangers had the most pleasurable experience, and those who remained solitary on the train had the least enjoyable experience. These answers were then compared with another group that did not participate, but instead had to predict how they might feel in each situation. And this group thought talking with strangers would be the least enjoyable by far. The study is in the Journal of Experimental Psychology. So, despite being social animals and enjoying social engagement, we avoid chatting with strangers. Why? Well, according to a follow-up study, it's because we think, wrongly, that strangers don't want to talk with us. Well, the one way to get over this, of course, is to practice reaching out. Who knows? Commuting could become a lot more enjoyable. Thanks for the minute. For Scientific American's 60 Second Mind, I'm Christy Nicholson.